Thanks for staying with us. Now, there was frustration at the Lojokuku-Krowo Municipal Assembly Hospital as online-based patient management system went down for hours on Sunday. Care for patients was truncated, leaving patients to endure their families. Now, some patients we spoke to said that they had been waiting for close to 7 hours. My colleague Michael Ashali has the rest of the story.
A dysfunctional IT system at the Lekma Hospital has left many families frustrated. Many of them have come here with mild to critical issues that needs urgent attention. However, some of them have been sitting without being attended to for nearly 12 hours.
Yvonne Quintin Kofe is my name. I brought my daughter to Lekma Hospital as early as 8:30. We were not attended to. The excuses the nurses were giving us was that the system is not functioning, the system is not working. We're just sitting for hours and hours and hours. I got attended to at 2:15. Since morning, I got attended to at 2:15. This is horrible. I can't accept this.
So what exactly did you bring to the hospital? You brought your daughter, but for what reason?
She's been complaining of stomach problems. So since I'm not a doctor, the best place I could send her to was the hospital for the doctors to diagnose exactly what was wrong with her. And I've been waiting since 8:30. I got attended to at 2:15 and I'm mad.
Since from morning that I'm here to take tetanus, nail took my foot under, and I was here since from morning 5:30 a.m. They take my BP, my whatever. I joined the queue from 8:30. That doctor will look for me so that he inject me. Since from morning, they say system. I'm not understand why system have to kill woman being. I'm not understand, because if I go to private hospital, if I have money and I go to private hospital, but this time I'm at home. I don't know why I have to come to a general hospital, the government hospital, and that one rather system have to kill me. I don't know. I'm not understand.
But you have to endure pain, right?
Yeah, I'm staying in pain. Look at the foot. Look at the foot. The way it's swallowed. Look at it. So I don't know. I don't know why. Why? Me, I don't know unless they told us what is happening. I mean, I don't know what is happening.
My name is Rikayo Donko, assemblyman for Suchuruno. And I was at church this morning around 11:30. My brother called me that he was here at the Lekma Hospital 5 a.m. and he did not attend to. Why? Because the system is not working. Oh. So I was there, as he called me, I said, okay, wait, I'm coming. After one, I came. Yes, sir. We were sitting down, the system is not working. What I'm pleading for is the authorities should see to it that if we are going by electronic system, then they should have a backup team so that whenever there's an issue, they resolve it in a nearest time so that it not cause any problem.
The hospital management has declined to speak officially on this issue. However, they say that they are working around the clock to make sure that this is a thing of the past. For JoyNews, Michael Ashali.
While still in the health sector, neurosurgeons and Pediatric Society of Ghana say they are gravely concerned about the shortage of vaccines for children across the country. Now, 2 crucial vaccines for babies have been unavailable at the Adabraka Polyclinic Vaccination Center for close to a month, leaving many babies without shots. Mothers who had come with their babies to be vaccinated were turned away to come later when the shots are available. Neurosurgeon Dr. Hadi Abdullahi and Head of Pediatrics and Child Healthcare at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, Professor Al-Hassan Abdullahi Mumin, have been responding to why their departments are concerned about the shortage of baby vaccines.
This shortage didn't just happen this month or a month ago. It's been more than 1 year since we started experiencing these shortages. So it means that for most of the children who were born during this period, from since 2022 they are likely to have missed so many of these vaccines that are very crucial to their survival during the first few years of life. The situation is quite bad because, for instance, in the northern region, there is no district that has not recorded maybe an outbreak of measles. So all the 16 districts that we have in northern regions have had cases of measles. If it's just the fever and the rash, generally we are able to manage them as home cases. So you can send them home and then they will be managed at home. But if they develop complications like the breathing problems, then they need to be in the hospital. And this is the key complication that can lead to deaths in children that have measles. And that is why this is a very big problem for all of us as a country.
The long-term effect of some of these infections, especially measles and rubella, could have an impact on the babies that will be born later on, because some of these conditions eventually could affect the development of the child's brain or the central nervous system, and in some cases the peripheral nervous system as well. So these children could be born with all kinds of brain abnormalities, and we know what pertains in northern Nigeria and some Islamic countries where we've had some Muslim clerics advising against vaccination, and we know polio is still not has not been eradicated in those countries, and we've seen the impact in those countries. You know, in their case, they didn't want to do it, but in our case, we have Ghanaians who are willing to have their babies vaccinated. And so as a country, if we can't get the vaccines, it's unfortunate.
While away from the health sector now to issues of governance, former President John Dramani Mahama says the argument that he should return his entitlement under Article 71 after he announced he will cancel ex gratia if he becomes president again is silly. John Mahama, at the launch of his campaign to lead the NDC, said that he will cancel the ex gratia arrangement due to the economic hardship. But some, including prominent members of the NPP, said that if he truly means this, then he should return what he took as former president. John Mahama says this argument is silly. We'll hear from him shortly. First, listen to NPP MP for Botiano English Yamam from Sylvester Tete, who has joined calls for the former president to surrender his entitlement.
No Ghanaian trusts former President Mahama on this matter, except his own NDC people who will trust him.
Why?
He happens to choose an occasion where his NDC people were only chanting and excited, but not to interrogate the man and interrogate the issues. He has an opportunity. If indeed he means what he's saying, he has an opportunity to demonstrate to Ghanaians. In this country, Togbe Afede said he doesn't want to take his ex gratia. So he's giving it to the country. And you want to be president again, and you are enjoying the benefit of Article 71 office holders you want to scrap. So the best test for you is to surrender it. Then we can trust you. He has a staff with him, and I'm not surprised one of his former executives said he's a retired president who's enjoying all the benefits. So if they lose the next election, he doesn't bother, he doesn't care. You are enjoying all these benefits. He's the biggest beneficiary of Article 71 beneficiary in this country, in the history of this country. Having been a former MP, a former minister, vice president, president, and he's enjoying it.
He's entitled to. He's entitled to say, "I will change that," because.
So that's why I'm saying that the best case is that you have an opportunity. Let Ghanaians trust your word. It's not about what you say; it's about what you do. So now he has an opportunity. He's enjoying it. If indeed he wants to scrap it, then he should surrender all the entitlement is.
Do you recall he attempted it?
I don't. He should put it in. I mean,
this actually not the first time he's talking about it. Wait, in 2015, you recall that he tried to rally organized labor. He tried to rally.
I'm coming to.
He tried to rally support for this to happen.
Yes, and that's the more reason why 2015, when he said he will scrap Article 71 benefits, I thought that when he retired from office, he should have been an example.
But speaking at a campaign stop at Ketu South in the Volta region, John Mahama was not convinced by these arguments, describing them as silly.
You must show by example. If the economy is in crisis, why should we continue to take ex gratia when the rest of the public and civil service don't take it? And so I said categorically that we will cancel ex gratia. And then somebody who should know better, a lawyer, he said, oh, then I should refund all the ex gratia we took before to show Ghanaians that, yes, we are serious about cancelling it. He does not even know the principle in our constitution that says that you cannot pass retroactive legislation. If you pass legislation today, it does not affect what happened in the past. And what he says is a bit silly, because it's like saying that because we've introduced free SHS, all of us should go and get a refund of our school fees that we paid in the past. That is how silly what he's saying is. And so they should state what their position is. Are they in favor of ex gratia, or they agree with us that we'll cancel it? We are saying 2025, when we come, we will cancel ex gratia.
Well, the Ghana Boundary Commission and its counterparts in Burkina Faso have started the process to reaffirm the boundaries of the two countries by restoring the deteriorating boundary pillars to their former state. Their concerns artisanal gold mining activities and other human activities have affected the boundary pillars, which were fixed more than 30 years ago. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the second meeting of the Boundary Commission of Ghana and Burkina Faso, the national coordinator of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Major General Emmanuel Kutia, said the two countries will also work to deal with challenges along the boundary. Maxwell Agbagba has more in this report.
The first meeting between the two countries was in July 2021 at Paga. The main objective of this latest meeting is to begin the process of reaffirmation of the boundary of the two countries and also initiate solution to challenges along the boundary. Speaking at the opening ceremony, National Coordinator of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Major General Emmanuel Kutia, said aside from the discussions on the reaffirmation of the boundary of the two countries, cross-border activities will also feature. He says work will start as soon as possible to prevent the land boundaries of the two countries from becoming a source of dispute.
We would urge that we set up a joint boundary reaffirmation committee, which has already been mentioned earlier on. We would jointly seek funding for the construction of new boundary pillars, including intermediate boundary pillars and border post pillars, and a movement at certain locations that we would agree around the border crossing. We would use this opportunity to urge the GIZ representatives are here, to be able to seek for funding for us to start this project this year. We want to advise that it is important for us to move into action as soon as possible so that our land boundaries do not become areas of dispute among local communities.
Permanent Secretary for the Boundary Commission for Burkina Faso said she's excited about the second meeting of the two countries. Ghana's ambassador to Burkina Faso, His Excellency Adangbela Boniface Gambela, says Ghana has a long-standing relationship with Burkina Faso and is happy to see the second meeting of the two boundary commissions in Ouagadougou.
It was and it is today not a coincidence that Ghana established its relationship with Burkina Faso as far back as 1960, when the latter gained its independence from colonial.
GIZ provided funding for the program. ECOWAS Component Manager GIZ African Union Border Program, Dr. Sanu Bakari, says reaffirmation of boundaries of countries is a good way to prevent conflicts.
GIZ is supporting this program. It is bringing technical and financial support for the bilateral commission that is going to be established between the two countries so that they can move to the reaffirmation of their boundaries. It is very important. Like I said, this program was established since 2007 as a structural means to prevent conflict across African continent. You know, since Berlin Conference, the almost 80,000 of African borders are not well defined, and the fact that the boundaries are not well defined create a lot of problems. You know, when you don't know the border, you cannot patrol the borders. Yeah. So that's why we are really supporting this program so that we can prevent conflict and also support the two governments to come up with clean the limitation of their borderlands.
Civil society organizations were also represented at the meeting. Paul Abraham Mensah, Programs Manager at CDD Ghana, lauded the efforts of the boundary commissions of the two countries.
2 years that civil society organization was included in the Land Boundaries Technical Committee. Civil society organizations, as you know, we support state institutions in the enforcement of their duties. We come in with perception surveys. We come in with a point that probably may not be known to state institutions.
You're still watching JoyNews Prime with me, Fostina Sarfo. We're taking a quick breather. We'll be back with more. Thanks for staying with us. Now, all is set for Ghana's 66th Independence Anniversary celebration, which is scheduled to be held in the Volta regional capital of Ho and Adaklu. The organizing committee have put together immense work to make the venue for the Independence Anniversary Parade, the Volta Regional Youth Resource Center in Adaklu, ready for the event on Monday. There is more in the following report by Fred Kwame Asari, which highlights preparation works and the economic impact of the anniversary celebration.
The Volta region, one of the 16 administrative regions of Ghana, occupies a land area of 9,504 kilometers square. The Volta region is connected to the national capital, Accra, with two bridges across the Volta Lake, the Sugakope and Adomi bridges. It is mostly occupied by Eves, who constitute the majority of the over 6,500,000 people living in the region. Residents survive on trading, farming, fishing, artisanal works and commercial transport business, while others get their livelihood from working in the private and public sectors. The region is blessed with numerous tourist sites, which include the Afajatu, Adaklu Mountain, Mount Gemi, Tafi Atume Monkey Sanctuary, Pile Waterfalls, Tagbo Falls, Amajope Canopy Walkway, the Liati Water Snake Village, among others. It is also home to several remnants of the colonial era. A senior citizen, Tenasu Kufik Bedema, explained how the Volta region became part of Ghana.
But then eventually, 1955-56, the plebiscite was held under the United Nations. And I remember we were singing Eduardo Yepieto, who was the one who came to organize the plebiscite. The plebiscite was whether Transvolta region, Transvolta Togoland, as it was then, should merge with the Gold Coast to become independent, or whether they should either be on their own or join the French Togoland. So the plebiscite went, and by dint of hard work between Nkrumah, Agbeli Bedema was Nkrumah's strong man in the area then. And in fact, they used Agbeli as a bait to bring the Volta region of Volta, Transvolta Togoland into Ghana. That was done, and by the plebiscite, Transvolta region decided to merge with the Gold Coast and become independent Ghana.
66 years on, the Volta regional capital, Ho, was selected to host the National Independence Anniversary celebrations. It is the fourth region to host the anniversary when the government decided to rotate the national celebrations nationwide. Following the announcement, preparations have been ongoing to deliver a successful event and the best experience for revelers. Wulcado Construction Limited speed up works on the Regional Youth Resource Center to make the facility ready to host the Independence Day Parade. The Accra to Ho, Aplau to Ho, Adaklu to Ho, and other township roads were provided facelifts where bad sections were rehabilitated. About 2,500 street lights were fixed in the regional capital, Ho and Adaklu, to enhance security at night. The OMCE, Divine Bolton, who is a member of the local planning committee, said the venue is ready to host the anniversary parade.
I want to tell you, it's very ready, and it's ready. With all these things, we should be celebrating my government, our president, your president, my president, for the good show. After all, if 6 March will come tomorrow again, I will wish to have it again because of the short time and the benefit I derived from this anniversary celebration.
The whole airport was also rehabilitated since some guests will be flying to the Volta region after arriving at the national capital, Accra. The entire city of Ho has been designed in the national colors, with the flags of political parties also fighting for space. Residents are positioned to reap the economic benefits that would come with the anniversary celebrations.
Okay, independence là. Mile mokobe amei yole vavake avaplenu egava totrecha vanami. Ne amoko gavela mi agakanga ko fe tepe gbagba videwe. Okay,
so far the display and everything has been very amazing. You know, seeing the people coming into Ho, and Ho is a very nice place. You know, it's a center of culture and tourism. So we are actually expecting a huge crowd, you know, to help make this event a memorable one.
The tourism industry is expected to benefit from the National 66th Independence Anniversary celebrations in Ho. Major hotels such as Freedom Hotel, Volta Serene, Chances, Sky Plus, African Hill Resort, among others, have been booked to host the dignitaries. Eateries and pub owners have provided some facelift to their centers and introduced new services. Alexander Nketia is the Volta Regional Director of the Ghana Tourism Authority.
A whole impact on the entire industry. Now let's look at events are tourism. That's what we call it in tourism. We call it MICE. Under MICE, we have the meetings, incentives, conference, and then events. And this part of that aspect of tourism, which brings in people to witness special occasions, okay, participate in special occasions such as these. And when visitors come in, they are coming in with money to come and spend within the local community, and therefore there's more or less like redistribution of income or revenue or money into the local economy. So that is what we are hoping that people will take advantage of and benefit from. Yes.
About 10,000 people are expected to fill the Volta Regional Youth Resort Center in Adaklu for the Independence Anniversary Parade. Businesses have already set up in the environs, ready to leverage the anniversary celebrations to cash in. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Adaklu.
Now to some business story. An industry research and development hub, Fresh Pact, created by Blue Skies, held a stakeholders discussion to find solutions to the numerous economic impacts of plastic waste on Ghana and the economy. According to Dr. Ebenezer Lai, a researcher and a senior lecturer at the University of Nottingham, there is a need for more investment into countering the many effects of plastic waste on the country's human resource.
Blue Skies, in collaboration with Fresh Pact Development Hub, organized a stakeholder meeting on how to resolve challenges posed by plastic waste in Ghana. Participants of Fresh Pact were tasked to come out with project plans to facilitate the commercialization of the solutions. Speaking in an interview, a researcher at Fresh Pact, Dr. Ebenezer Lai, said plastic waste is a growing cause of flooding.
We know that there's perennial flooding, especially in Accra, every year. There was a study done recently which looked at the cumulative loss of, in terms of the economic impact, right? So cumulatively, we're not just looking at, of course, property damage, but we're looking at the cost of any health implications from the flooding, any losses of life, etc., etc. So when you put all of that together cumulatively, the figure that that study came to was $100 million, which is a cumulative figure of what we lose every year because of flooding. And this is important or related to the plastics issue, because of course everybody in this country knows that a huge part of the problem when it comes to flooding is the inability of our drains to carry water, rainwater, all the way through to the oceans.
Well, that'll be all for the bulletin. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Fostina Sarfo. Up next is The Probe. Do stay with us.